Okay, so the HKP30L, I've had some questions about the compensator. I picked this one up from HKParts. You know, the main question is, does it work? Does it do anything? Do you feel any difference? I can tell you that it does work, and the reason that I know that for certain, when I first got the gun, I put about 100 rounds through it, and I was standing over a little bucket here they have at the range where they hope you'll put the brass, and I'm busy shooting, and the cases are actually dribbling out and falling into the bucket for that first 50-100 rounds. I put this on, and the gun became a single shot. It wouldn't eject anything. And essentially, because the HK shipped with those really stiff recoil springs, I hadn't really run 124 grain, 147 grain faster ammunition, things like that, through the pistol, and because of that, the recoil strings are still really tough, and with the compensator taking out enough of the gas, it just wasn't enough to run the gun. So does it do anything? Yes, and I think that's pretty definitive. Now for most shooting purposes, this is pretty heavy. So is it the weight, or is it the compensation design? My guess is it's probably a little bit of both. Somebody asked about whether or not you could use a extended barrel. You cannot with this particular one, and you can see kind of right here. The HK, it's a Browning action, so the barrel tips up, and so when the gun is forward, the compensator is there, and so if the barrel extended, it wouldn't be able to tip up, and it would be a problem. So you just run your standard P30L barrel and put it on. When you want to take it off when you want to clean, you got to unscrew here and here. And just remove it, clean it, put it all back together. It looks cool, and that's people's main reason for buying it. And as far as the actual efficiency of it, by and large, you'll have to be the judge. While I picked this up from HKParts, I also picked up their 5-round extension, which I found out I had to actually Dremel a little bit because it was only letting me put in 17, and the piece, the little floor plate piece that you need to put in there wasn't going all the way down. It was kind of canting up. So just be aware you do have to do a little Dremel work if you get their 5-round extension. So if we can kind of keep a focus on just the muzzle itself so that people can get an idea of the movement. So, a couple even did make it into the little guy there. So I'm shooting here, and it's, ejecting, what is that, 1.5 feet, 2 feet? So that didn't eject too far. These are just 115 grain Federal, I think. I've got some aluminum I'm going to try here in a minute. It did not like aluminum the first time I tried it, but that was before I had very many rounds through the gun, so the recoil spring may have loosened up to the point where it'll run that weaker ammunition. This is some more of that same Federal with just a standard 15 round. That's interesting. I either didn't get a hold open. Well, it's saying I do not have a round in the chamber based on that, and I do not. So I didn't get a hold open on that empty magazine. I did, by the way, also put on the Magwell bevel piece from HKParts. That went on with a little bit of difficulty, not too much. All right, so here's the aluminum, which is the Federal aluminum. We'll see if that will run. Well, that's really distracting. Every single case is just coming out and just whoop. I did get a hold open on that one. So, there was, what was that, 50 rounds of 9mm. All of it cheap 115 grain. Hopefully we got a good shot. of the muzzle device itself. Well, I don't even know if I can call it a muzzle device because it actually attaches to the frame, not the end of the gun. But hopefully we got some video there where you can really kind of see the movement on it, and then judge for yourself whether or not whether or not it's something you want to do. I mean, obviously it looks cool, and that's the real reason you're buying it anyway, right? So it's the HK P30L with the HKParts comp on it.